Hello and welcome into the 2013 Ashland University Football Preview Show. I am Matt Brubaker here with Ashland University head football coach Lee Owens. First, Coach, thanks for taking some time with us.
Looking forward to it, Matt. Always enjoy your visits.
Before we take a look at 2013, let's reflect back on 2012. 11-0, undefeated regular season, first ever GLIAC championship. What are your thoughts and memories from 2012?
Boy, what a year, what a season. And, it's hard to let go of the last one. We lose that second round playoff game to West Texas on a tough ending. And it's hard to get by that and really reflect back to the undefeated season and the conference championship. But we've done that. We've taken time to do that. But now we're moving forward. Really, it didn't take us long from the end of the year to start thinking about Indianapolis, 2013, September 7th. So really, most of our focus has been looking ahead.
From today, 39 days until the kickoff with Indianapolis, your team earning a lot of respect coming into the preseason, top 5 national ranking. How do you use that as motivation and remove that pressure from that top 5 ranking?
Well, players have mentioned it to me, and from the very beginning I said it has nothing to do with this year's team. We've not earned any kind of recognition or any kind of ranking. That's basically, again, a testament to the tradition that we have here on our campus, the success that we had last year. But you know what? We want to be at 5 or better at the end of the year. I'll take that ranking when it means something at the end of the year, and we've earned it. I think we finished the regular season 4th in the country last year after being undefeated, and that was pretty significant. So we'll pay a little more attention to that once we get further in the season.
We know the old cliche, defense wins championships, and your defense this year, a lot of good names on that side of the football. Talk about Jamie Meter and Cody Bloom and your expectations for them.
Well, all great defensive teams start with a solid front, and if you got great pressure up front, you don't have to be as good in the back end, and plus you can slow down the run and let those linebackers make a lot of plays. And so Jamie Meters is as good as there is in college football, for sure. In Division II college football, there would be some that argue he's as good at any level because there's a lot of NFL teams that are taking a look at him. He's been a dominant player here since his first game as a freshman, and now he's a senior. And so it's really going to start with him as a great player up front. We have a nice supporting cast for him. You mentioned Cody Bloom, another first-teamer who's coming back for us. And Cody's been one of the leaders in our conference in tackles. He plays with great intensity. He's a downhill, old-school, tough, physical linebacker. And so, having a guy up front and a guy in the middle like that really helps. And then at cornerback, we have Q Scott returning and some really good safeties. But we've got experience at all 3 levels of defense.
Let's stick on the defensive side of the football. Last year, one of my favorite players to watch was Damian Combs.
Yeah.
His nickname is the Missile. He really emerged as a secondary star on your defense. Who do you see this year on the defensive side of the football that could be this year's Damian Combs, and could it be in the secondary?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Damian Combs and Chris Harvey as outside backers, particularly when you're putting Meter in the middle, is that's scary to think about those 2 athletic guys coming off the edge. I think you're going to see Chris Harvey become more of an impact player than he was last year. Now, he was a pretty good player last year, even though he wasn't an every down impact player like I think he'll be this year. Who's the guy who's going to emerge? I'm not sure. We have a junior college transfer from California, Donzel Ashley, who's really had a good camp. We've had a couple young freshmen come in here and really stand out. And, we're getting Eric Sweeterman back from the knee surgery at the safety position to kind of fill in where Donnie Dada left off. So there's a lot of candidates for it, and somebody will step up. I'm not sure who it's going to be right now, but we have a lot of guys who are looking for that opportunity.
Let's flip sides. Let's go to the offensive side of the football. The offensive line, I would say, is the most experienced of this group. Talk about Zach Vermillion, the returning leader, and your impact that they could have on this football team.
Yeah, well, you start with Zach as a returning all-conference football player, and James Triplett right beside him at offensive guard, and then Keith Dingler, a returning captain in the middle at guard, and then you look at the guys that had really good summers for us. John Sipp has had a great summer. Really played well. And, so there's a lot of experience up there from tackle to tackle. Then you start to throw in the tight ends and the fullbacks, and these are guys who've been playing since they were freshmen, and most of them now are juniors. And so it's exciting to be able to play with guys who are 20 and 21, not 17 and 18.
What does it mean to have that group play together multiple years? I think just knowing the type of plays they want to run, knowing where they're going to be in certain situations, does that help them?
It makes a big deal. Offensive line is all about continuity and chemistry, and we've had that group from tackle to tackle together now for a few years, and 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 I think the fact, if you're a running back, you're Jordan McCune or you're Anthony Taylor, and you're getting used to the way guys are combination blocking and the timing of a trap block or a counter or a pull by the guard on a sweep. I mean, they've been together. The same thing. Those two running backs, McCune and Taylor played as freshmen, like many of those linemen did up front. And now to have that whole group together in their really third year now together, it gives us a chance to have a pretty solid game.
And I think a lot of Ashland fans will be excited to see the maturation of an Anthony Taylor, a Jordan McCune. Taylor 1,000 yards last year. McCune very close to 1,000 yards. Now as juniors, what do you expect from them?
And we expect big things from them. I mean, they're both strong, they're both faster. I mean, they were really good players here as incoming freshmen. And he's running 4.3s and 4.4s, and Jordan's 235 pounds, just as powerful and as strong as ever. They're both in as good a shape, and they're both as healthy as they've ever been. We've got some young guys behind them that are going to continue to push them, but boy, they're two stars in this conference right now.
And last but not least, you take a look at the quarterback position, trying to find a way to beat a school record in points that you guys scored last year. Can you do that again, and who could be that starting quarterback?
Before we get there, and that's a tough question, I also want to mention this. The tailbacks, the fullback and Nagy, the tight ends and Schweitzer and Renner, who's coming back for, it seems like his 6th year.
You're right.
It's been a really long time. Slavinsky at the tight end position, and then Danny Piko's had a great summer. Dave Susie's had a great summer at wide receiver. Eric Tompkins stronger than he's been for a long time.
Still as fast, probably.
And as
too.
fast. So now all of a sudden, we've talked about a lot of veterans offensively. We're missing the leader of that group the last couple years. We're missing the heart and soul of our football team last year, and Taylor Housewright. And so that's the guy to replace, and that was the initial question. I have no answer for you right now.
We have a lot of weapons, though.
A lot of weapons, a lot of candidates, a lot of prospects, a lot of suspects, but a lot of guys on campus all summer throwing. I've got a feeling, though, there's going to be one player in particular that is going to step up and be ahead of the others and take the job and run with it. I just have that gut feeling right now.
Well, you heard it here first from Ashland University head football coach Lee Owens. The season will kick off on September the 7th at Indianapolis. Until then, be excited for some Ashland football in 2013.